and care, and we are on the agenda. So, quiero bienvenirlos a todos ustedes. Ya tú sabes que este programa es multilingüe en muchos lenguajes. Y si ustedes tienen preguntas, pueden preguntar cuando quiera por el chat. Y de cualquier manera, estamos enfocándonos en muchos diferentes objetivos, tópicos. Lo más importante es lo que está pasando. So, muchos de ustedes han venido a este programa y han compartido sus ideas, han compartido eh, sus diferentes filosofías. Y para nosotros aquí en este programa, ya tú sabes, el mensaje familiar, como la pueden leer aquí y aquí también, es estar cómodo, tranquilo, en familia, en confianza. De cualquier parte del mundo que nos estés visitando, si quieren participar en este programa, avisa y podemos programar para que estés en acuerdo. Aquí en el programa Got Tender Loving Care, Got TLC, si hay preferencias sobre las que hablemos, pueden compartir en cualquier momento. Hay gente que viene y va, hay apoyadores que soportan este proyecto. ¿Te acuerdas que uno de nuestros episodios en el pasado era en inglés? Pero también podemos contribuir en cualquier lenguaje. So, tu opinión es válida y este es un programa. Si tienes opinión, por favor compártela aquí en el chat. Este es un programa muy sencillo, tan sencillo que cualquier persona de cualquier edad, si tienes consejos o palabras de sabiduría, la puedes compartir aquí. Este es un programa que ayudamos a los demás y importante el respeto. Como ustedes ven ahí en la tableta, en la marca, lo que se puede hablar y discutir son de cualquier tópico, pero también para ser respetuoso. So, como ves, tenemos muchas cosas como la arte marcial, cosas de comprar casas, ventas, terreno, el MMA y todas esas cosas. Un momento. So, lo que les quiero decir hoy es ten paciencia. Aquí estamos en la tecnología, usando la tecnología para la comunicación. Y ahora regresamos a el programa. So, lo importante en este momento es compartir esto con los demás. Ya sabes el mensaje del programa. Um, Ahí por lo menos estamos aquí vivos. Aquí nos dice alguien en el chat, Red Hulk, Green Hulk, what's up Mexican. Como compartiste el mensaje en inglés, te responderé en inglés. Red Hulk, Green Hulk, what makes you think that I am Mexican? Where are you from? You have a very cool name. Red Hulk, Green Hulk. Why red? I get the green, I've never seen a Red Hulk before, but let us know all about it. If there's any merch, any website, any business that you are a part of that you want to share. Maybe you want to make a little bit more sales if you're a musician, or maybe sell some books or merch. Feel free to share. And we have Rosa saying, Hola, Rosa, ¿de cuál parte del mundo vienes? What part of the world are you from? So, Red Hulk, Green Hulk, I want you to guess where I am from. You are Indian, and Brown too, saying hi. All right. Welcome, welcome. This is just for you, Red Hulk, Green Hulk. Look at that. I want you to guess who this is, Mr. or Mrs. Red Hulk, Green Hulk. My buddy, right there. Who is that? This is for everyone actually in the chat. I hope that you can see it right there, right there. I didn't get a response yet, but I have someone in my bookshelf. If you are Indian, now this is the thing, Red Hulk, Green Hulk. When people say Indian, I have to ask. Um, Indian as in Native American or Indian as in next to Pakistan? And we have Vic Anaya just subbed. All right, thank you, Vic Anaya. I love the name. Vic as in victory and Anaya, beautiful. Next to Pakistan, right on. So you are Catholic. That's Shiva, um, or Krishna maybe. Yes. Glad that we have someone from India joining. Catholic. Well, I don't know if I'm showing it yet, but up there in that bookshelf we have the Bible, and I'm gonna just quickly modify the angle here just for you, Red Hulk, Green Hulk. We have the Bible, we have the Quran, we have the Bhagavad Gita, we have the Nectar of Devotion. We pretty much have all and every holy book. So Krishna, there you go, you got it right. That is Krishna. Next to, this is just for you, Red Hulk, Green Hulk. Who is that right there? Who is that next to Krishna? Shiva's very close. Gita, like gift. Gita, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, still working on my pronunciation. I think that Sanskrit is a beautiful language, as well as Punjabi, um, Marathi. Man, there's so many beautiful languages. Hindi. What languages do you speak? And awesome. So that means that you are a follower of the Bible. But if you're Indian, that you might have some background in the Bhagavad Gita as well. I tell you, I have every holy book in there. Um, Krishna. I don't know if you know this, Red Hulk, Green Hulk, but Christ and Krishna are etymologically connected. So you're a mix of Tamil, Telugu, and like in a state where they speak Kannada. There's way too many languages here. Yeah, beautiful. So I was actually I have some friends who are Indian as well, and some of them are Punjab, and they speak Punjabi, and then other friends who are Hindi, all different religions, but we all come together, and it's a community of communication and language, and pretty much just sharing culture with each other. So this is what this channel is about as well. Then we have Michael Corleone. I have been involved in the family biz for many years. Michael Corleone, if I got that correctly, that's from The Godfather, correct? One of my favorite soundtracks is from The Godfather. Like The Godfather is actually I used to, when I study, I play The Godfather music. It's just beautiful. Godfather 1. So if that's the same Michael Corleone, let me know in the chat. If any of you are mixed martial arts or boxing supporters, you might know that Floyd Money Mayweather is competing against John Gotti. Now this is for you, Michael Corleone. I do believe that Corleone is from The Godfather. You sound Latino. Am I wrong? Well, this is a channel of asking questions, and that is a great question. So, define what Latino is. There's so many of these terms that fly around. Like people are using the term Latino, Hispanic, Latinx, Chicano, Boricua, things like that. As you know, Red Hoke, Green Hoke. Some of my Punjabi friends are, they just consider themselves to be just Punjab, like South American person. Um, some of my family, some of my family's from South America, but I also have family who are from India as well. Um, I did a lot of research to in New Delhi. It's one the Punjab region. So family from all over the world, pretty much every single continent, man. Here at God Tender Loving Care, we're all about expressing your views and in a respectful way. So we have Michael Corleone who's joined the chat, and there is a Vic Anaya. Welcome, welcome. Red Hoke, Green Hoke. You have a very Americanized accent, but I can hear the Latin influence. Very, very interesting. Yep. So, um, I am glad that you made note of that. That is very, very interesting. The first time I've ever heard that before. But yeah, I take that as a compliment. Thank you so much. And making the connection here, Brown, right? So I'm going to go back to your message. You are Tamil, Telugu, and in a state where they speak Kannada. Man, you are diverse. Red Hoke, Green Hoke. Mixed Tamil and Telugu. So that is fascinating. And in a state where they speak Kannada, many people are probably curious about where you live. What part of your family is Tamil, Telugu? How did everyone get to meet? What is the history of your country? What do you consider to be your country? So you also mentioned India next to Pakistan. Um, so are you living in North, South, East, or West India? And you're also Catholic. Fascinating. How did that come about? South India, amazing food. South India, right on. Never been to that part of the world. But as you see, some of the holy books there tell me that I should one day visit. Now, this probably isn't South India where you are, but I should know this. Maybe you should. Maybe. Where is Krishna from? Krishna is from Vrindavan, correct? Is that it? There we go. Tip of my tongue. Vrindavan. We were converted by Francis Xavier, a Jesuit missionary. Wow, very fascinating. So, in South India, here in the U.S. in America, maybe you're here, maybe you're in the States as well. Travel is fairly easy. How is travel in India? Like, have you been to the places that many people talk about, the Vrindavans, the New Delhis, the Punjab region, or is it just different? Do you stay where you are in the villages? Is travel quite easy? Here in the States, we definitely can know more. Like I know travel by train. We've seen the videos of people traveling in trains. Yeah, too crowded. So the furthest I ever went, and it's probably so far from you that I'm not sure if you've been, but Thailand and Singapore, and there was a community there of Indians. Yoga is very big. The yoga that I did was Iyengar yoga. One of the most beautiful things I think that comes from that region of the world. Many Westerners can attest to that. And the community in Singapore and Thailand of Indian, man, it's fascinating. It's very fascinating because of you said all the different languages that come from the region. Um, Surprisingly, and I was surprised, Iyengar sounds like Iyengar. Beautiful. Thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, here in the States where the accents and dialects. So Iyengar. Yep. So that's the yoga that first introduced me to the region. And then the community that I came across in Singapore and Thailand of Indians is they had their own little India, um, and everyone spoke a variation of different languages of Sanskrit-based languages. Um, Everyone from various walks of life. I met people who spoke Marathi who didn't understand Punjabi, but then I knew some Punjabi people who could understand Hindi. So my friends who spoke Hindi would so my friends, well, yeah, I just make friends, man. That's it. Friends, school, education, work, a lot of in the field experience. Um, but a lot of my friends who spoke Hindi could understand people speaking Punjabi, and I was blown away. Like I was speechless because Punjabi and Hindi are considered two different languages, not dialects, right? Like in South America, Central America, Spain, people who speak Spanish can probably understand each other because it's the same language, but there are going to be some differences. Like the Caribbean dialect of Spanish, they have African, they have Native American words and phrases, and it's just part of the culture, all of it mixed together. But they still consider it the same language. So someone who's from one of your comments before was Mexico. Yeah, so someone from Mexico could probably hold a conversation with someone from Puerto Rico or La República Dominicana. So they could communicate with each other, except that there are dialectal differences, like Mexican Spanish, and it varies across Mexico. Is you have Aztec influence, and not just influence. You have Aztec that's embedded in the culture, um, Mayan. Then you go to Guatemala, which is south of Mexico, and there you have a huge plethora of indigenous cultures where Spanish isn't even the norm. Everyone speaks more than one language, and Spanish just happens to be one of the languages that they speak in South America. Because when we say Central America, we're talking about Mexico. When we talk about South America, then we're talking about places like Brazil, Argentina. I have to double check if that land that connects those countries, like Costa Rica, Guatemala, is considered Central or South. I'm leaning toward probably probably it depends. If it's in the north, it's probably going to be Central. If it's toward the south, it's probably going to be considered South. Then you have Caribbean Spanish, and then there's a country in Africa, of all continents, Africa, where their language is Spanish, and everyone can understand each other. So when my friends who are Hindi, or see, this is when people get confused. Hindi and Hindu are not the same thing, and you let me know what you think of that. So us Westerners can definitely get to know that part of the world way more, and with utmost respect. Um, Hindi and people who speak Punjabi, like for me, having them speak to each other, and they didn't understand everything, but they understand most of the conversation. That to me blew me away. Yeah, so you said I know a lot. Man, it's all those books. It's anthropology. I am an anthropologist by training. I'm a teacher. But I will say that martial arts has taken me around the world. I've trained in every single country that I visited, and it was Muay Thai in Thailand. I did Jiu-Jitsu back in South Central America, boxing in the Caribbean. Here in the States, they're big into pretty much wrestling, mixed martial arts, combining it all. But it's a very big wrestling culture. Um, do I follow the UFC? Yep, I think that the UFC is a great MMA, mixed martial arts. Yep. So the title, Love, Live. Who you voting for? Boxing, MMA, real estate, news. Yes, we cover MMA. Part of our channel is spreading MMA throughout the world. MMA is a hugely growing sport. Um, I think that you said the UFC. I think that Dana White has done a great job opening up those PIs, the gyms. That's brought a lot of jobs to the places like Mexico, and now they opened up one in China. Who do I consider the greatest of all in MMA? Yeah, this is a hard question. I'm stumped. Who do you consider the GOAT of MMA? I gotta say that I appreciate different martial arts. Like I was just watching John Jones versus Machida, and I was training and had that in the background, but I put it in slow motion, and I noticed that John Jones and Machida have about the same level of striking ability. And before I thought that John Jones dominated. They have about the same level of striking ability in that for the first 4 to 5 minutes of Machida versus Jones, they were pretty much feeling the process out, feeling each other out, trying to figure out how to get in and compete with each other. Machida had the first hit, which was, I believe, a roundhouse kick, and then it was back and forth, feeling each other out. John Jones then got a few exchanges, but nothing serious. It was pitter patter, and they were all evading. They're really good at evading uh, defensive martial arts. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, I have a lot of respect for as well. He has a really good podcast. If you check out his YouTube channel, he recently had on the MMA Guru, and that was fascinating because for Demetrius Johnson, the caliber of martial artist that he is skilled. I mean, I've seen him compete against bigger guys, and he in jujitsu, so he really is the Hoist Gracie, I think, of the era. For the greatest of all time, I give accolades where accolades are due. Demetrius Johnson for me stands out in that he's a well-spoken fellow person of color, mixed martial artist. He is the Sean O'Malley of the underground. He's a people's champ, and yes, he doesn't compete in the UFC, he is like Mike Perry to ONE FC. Mike Perry is the face of bare knuckle boxing, and I think that Demetrius is the face of non UFC mixed martial arts. Now, the greatest of all time, I think that that's a title that is always changing. It's always fluctuating. Um, I think of people like GSP, Georges St. Pierre, but I wouldn't say that he's the greatest of all time. I would say he's one of the greatest of all time for what he was able to do. Georges St. Pierre. Then I also think about Anderson the Spider Silva. Anderson the Spider Silva in mixed martial arts and his striking ability, great. He had a great run. Then we look at undefeated records because undefeated records are like I don't know if you have baseball cards, basketball cards, Pokemon cards, what any type of card. It is like having a holographic card when you are undefeated. Some people like Islam Mahashev probably have one loss. Georges St. Pierre I think had 2 losses, maybe 3. John Jones undefeated. There's a 1 on his record for a loss, disqualification. But I think having that O next to your name as a mixed martial artist is like being a holographic card. All right. So next, I used to follow the career of Abbas Houghton, and he represented that open hand fighting style, pancration. I think of I look at his videos when I'm training. Then when it comes to female women martial artists, Ronda Rousey had a great run for a while. Very auspicious journey. We have one of her books up there, her Ronda Rousey book, great read. So the greatest of all time is a title that we just have to talk about who might be contenders for. But is there one belt for greatest of all time? Not yet, and there probably can't be. It's always fluctuating. Um, then we talk about pound for pound. Is the pound for pound the greatest of all time? At the moment, it's Islam Mahashev, who is ranked as the pound for pound. So you said that Jones has a freaky build that's perfect for fighting. That's exactly what rest in peace Islam Habib Nurmagomedov's dad said. He said of all the fighters, that John Jones is someone you got to look out for. He is ranked number one for a reason. So